Going into the Big Brother house 2017, I always knew that I wouldn't win. I went into the house not to win. Nigerians don't like real people. They don't like people that will tell you like it is, and that is it. We like to pretend in this country. How? We can pretend? Age shaming is such a real thing in Nigeria. It's such a real thing, and I've been so vocal about it because there are a lot of women who are in their 30s and their 40s and they feel like they're expired milk. I am me, and I will always tell it like it is. People don't like to hear the truth, and I will tell you the truth. This is hard to date a Nigerian man. I don't understand why you people are so complicated. 2 years ago, I was so desperate to get married, and I met somebody, and that person, that guy showed me Pepe. Oh yeah, show me. That guy gave, you know that crocodile pepper. That guy showed me crocodile pepper. As you may, it's fine. I'm a very open book, so I would love for you to really tweak my head.
Yeah, most certainly. One of the first things I admire about you is that, I mean, the world knows you, but there are other aspects of you. They know, everybody knows Uriel, but not many people know you are also Anita or Ngozi Oputa. Any relation to Charlie Boy?
Absolutely. Charlie Boy is my uncle. So Charlie Boy's father, Justice Oputa, and my grandfather are brothers. So they're brothers, so yeah. But I only met Charlie Boy very later on in life when I first moved back into Nigeria. Yeah.
But you'd always heard about him.
Yeah, of course. I remember in school, I used to be like, oh yeah, my uncle is famous. And also I'm related to Dr. Alban. You know the guy that had the big hit, It's My Life, It's My... That's my uncle as well. So yeah, he's from Uguta. So we're all related, and nobody ever believed that Charlie Boy or Dr. Alban is my family member. So yeah. So when I got to Nigeria, everybody was like, "Oh, your uncle's really big. He's really famous." And I saw him, I was like, "Oh, this guy looks weird," you know, like the rings and the piercings and everything. But he's such a cool person.
I used to love him. I mean, I was pretty young when I first knew him. He and his wife, they were like something else. And a few years ago, I was privileged to have a sit down with him for a television recording. And the old man just hadn't changed, just still that vibrant full of life kind of fella.
Yeah.
Happy-go-lucky. Yeah, I mean, if you have Charlie Boy and Dr. Alban as uncles, it's you know. And I thought you were the most popular member of your family.
Well, now I am.
So, which Oputa are you really? Which of the Oputa? Justice Oputa? Of the legendary Justice Oputa panel?
Yes, my dad is Oputa as well. So before my dad passed also, I think he was part of the Oputa panel. He was a lawyer.
Yeah.
So my dad was quite influential during that time, you know, when the whole Oputa panel thing was going on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'm kind of like confused. So your dad is another Oputa, but he also worked with is he the Justice? Because it's the Justice Oputa panel. Is that your dad?
No, that's my grand-uncle.
Grand-uncle?
Yeah, so Justice Oputa, my dad to Justice Oputa would be his nephew.
His nephew.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I remember the first time I met Justice, he saw me and he burst into tears because I reminded him, I don't look nothing like my mom. Like, mom looks like a typical Igbo woman. She's fair, whatever. I look like my dad. And I remember walking in and he was like, he just knew who I was. He's never met me in his whole entire life. But just walking in and seeing me, he was like, he just knew who I was. Like, nobody told him I was coming, and he just burst into tears. And it was such a surreal moment, and it just made me realize that, yo, I really do look like my dad. I look like my dad. Like, people told me this the whole time, but for somebody that has known my dad for years, and my dad had been late for like more than 30 years, and seeing me and just bursting into tears, that just really hit home. Yeah, it was such a surreal moment. It's good to, I can say that I made Justice Oputa cry. And a lot of people can't.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more tears in some people's future.
Yes. Good tears. Good tears. Good tears. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a powerful heritage.
Yeah.
These are powerful people, and these are just the men of the family.
Yeah.
I wonder what the women were like. Maybe it's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So you were born in London, smack
Yeah.
in the heart of London.
Yes, I was.
Hammersmith is pretty kind of central.
Mm-hmm.
What was your childhood like? I mean, I know there are some quiet areas of Hammersmith, and then there's the main part that's just close to the main road, just opposite. I you know, as I was telling you, I stayed there for a couple of weeks once, and I literally stayed in an inn. No, I was just going. I had to be there for a little while. There are the quiet parts that go in deep, and then there are the sides closer to a town. I remember there was one particular red telephone booth that I, constantly went back to.
Yeah.
Not because I needed to, but because, I mean, this was like 10 years ago. I was just fascinated at, the telephone booth. So I just wanted to go there and make calls.
Iconic.
It's pretty iconic,
Yeah.
even though I had my phones with me.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you? What was childhood like? And when did you come to Nigeria for the first time?
Okay. So for me, I obviously being born in the UK, I grew up in a very predominantly white neighborhood. I went to a predominantly white school. My brothers, I have 4 brothers. My brothers, they were all bullied because, in our school, we were like the only few Black people in that school. And as for me, I had a very beautiful childhood. My mom, obviously my dad passed on. So my mom struggled because she had 5 kids, huge kids, like tall, we weren't tall then, but, I like food. I'm sure you guys follow me. I like to eat.
Yeah, literally like a 6-footer. So
I'm 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8".
5'8". In heels, I'm like 5'10".
Yeah.
Okay. I look tall.
Yeah.
So my childhood was a mixture. I had good memories because my mom did her best. And she struggled, with money and trying to make ends meet. My mom did a lot of jobs that, are considered low-paid jobs. So my mom worked as a cashier. My mom worked as she used to sew, so she would sew odd jobs here and there. She did a bit of cleaning jobs and just to make ends meet. So my childhood was good. They did try to bully me, but growing up then, I've repented. I was quite an aggressive girl. As you can see me, I'm not a small girl. So they would try to bully me, and I would instantly ogle. It's time to fight. It's time to fight. And my mom never, I went to an all-white school. My mom had no mercy on me. She literally gave me the worst hairstyles because she didn't know how to braid. She didn't know how to do all those fancy hairstyles. So my mom literally gave me her hairstyle, which then was Jerry curl. So I was this Black girl in an all-white school with Jerry curls, and the cream, the Jerry curl cream is very greasy. So I had all this grease dripping onto my white shirt, oily, and my mom really did not try to help my ministry there. But they did try to bully me. I was the biggest, I was the blackest, but I grew up in a very wonderful neighborhood, safe neighborhood, and I had a good childhood. My mom did the best she could. So I relocated to Nigeria. I think, how old was I? I think I was almost 28. 27, 28. And that was the first time I had ever been to Nigeria. And I remember leaving the UK. And I said to my brothers, I'm going to Nigeria and I'm going to live there. They're like, oh, you're crazy. Yeah, how are you? But I've always been that person where if I say something, I will do it. And I have a very strong mind. And I got here, and the first place I stayed was with Charlie Boy. I remember driving into Charlie Boy's house, and I just saw this big skull in his back garden, and I was like, "Hey, wait, hey, what is happening here?" So I saw this big skull in his back.
Africa, cannibalism.
I'm telling you, I was like, "What is this?" And I saw like all these big statues. I said, "Hey, mommy, please, can I come home?" So when I got there, I stayed with him, and Nigeria. I was in Abuja. Nigeria was. It was an eye-opener to me. It was a shocker, but I loved it. Ended up staying, and I'm here today. But my childhood was, I think, something that shaped me to adapt to living in Nigeria. My mom raised me to take everybody as they are and never to judge people and to be open-minded, to be free. And I think that's what I carried with me all my life. Like coming to Nigeria, I was just a free mind, open spirit. And I just fitted straight in. I didn't have any, I wasn't expecting anything. I just knew that it's going to be a new terrain and just be open-minded like I have always been. And that was it. Made it work. It was, I hustled I used to sell things that was a different story. I hustled, I have a hustle.
Was it when you came in or?
No, when I came in, I stayed with my uncle for a bit and then I ended up getting into music. So you guys are the first to know this. This is exclusive. Nobody has ever been told this. So I was actually in a group and the group was called Kaku Republic. So it was myself, Sunki. Sunki is the guy that produced for Style Plus, and Cheeks. And he was a rapper, I was a singer, and Sunki was a producer. So I got into music, and there was this guy, I think their godfather, Mr. Sam, that, rented an apartment for me somewhere in Wuse Zone 3, and ended up staying there. And obviously, music back then wasn't making any money. We were trying to, push. And I was selling things. So I would buy all these cheap shoes back then from Primark, £2, £3, £1 on discount. They would chatter it to me. I would be selling it £1 shoe. I'll be selling £1 shoe then for 30k. Men's shoe. Because in me, I didn't look for women because women would like to bargain. But the men's shoe, I would sell, and they were really nice shoes. So £1 shoe, I sold it for 30. I was making money.
And then the exchange rate at that time was probably so.
I made money.
What was it? What was your profit margin now?
Oh, it was more than 100%. It was I can't even remember, but I made a lot of money. Just imagine buying something for £1 and I think
selling
£1
it for 2 or 3
and then selling it for 30,000 naira. That is like, so I did that and then I used to sew. So my mom taught me how to sew. So I would sew wigs, hair. And my first ever major my first ever breakthrough was for Deja. And Deja was signed to Maven Records. And I remember the video, the Dorobuchi video, the wig, the red wig she wore in Dorobuchi, red or green wig she wore in the Dorobuchi video. I made that, and I made that with my hands. And I stayed up all night to sew that wig. And that was it.
So you had a business mindset, and it served you well. I was just curious. So why did you make the decision to relocate?
So I wanted to relocate because I think I had just finished uni. No, no. So I got into nursing. I was a nurse, studied nursing. I qualified, and I remember, people are really not nice. I had this sister, and so many years later, I still have never forgotten her. She made an impact in my life, but for all the wrong reasons. Sister Indira did not like me for whatever reasons. And I think the reason Sister Indira didn't like me was because most of the doctors, I'm a fine girl, so most of the doctors, and I was a student nurse. So most of the doctors, would invite me to come out, hang with them, and she would be like, "Oh, you're a student nurse. You have no business hanging with the doctors. You have no business doing that." And she literally made my whole nursing experience, because I wanted to be a midwife. horrible hell. And when I qualified, because I had such a traumatic few years, training as a nurse, I just did not want to do nursing. Anything that had to do with nursing, I would run away, when it was time for me to sign my paper after doing a long day shift. So imagine I'll be on my feet from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. It's a long day, a long shift. And it's time to sign me off. She would make me wait like 2 hours. And I'm exhausted. I'm a student nurse before she would sign me off. When I'm walking in the hospital ward, she'll be like, "Oh, why are you walking like that? Are you trying to entice the patients? Are you trying, is this a catwalk?" She was literally on my case. So when I qualified for nursing, I was like, you know what? I don't want anything to do with nursing. I went on this thing in the UK called when you don't have a job, the government gives you money. Yes, the government gives you money. So that I went on job seekers allowance. So as you're looking for a job, they would pay you, I think, £80 every fortnight, every 10 days or whatever. So I was on that for a bit. And I was like, this is not me, because I liked nice stuff, get my nails done. I liked getting expensive wigs. I'm used to that life. So I can't just be from buying nice things and going shopping in central London and I'll now be getting £80 every fortnight. I want more with my life,
You didn't want to practice nursing
And I just did not want to practice nursing. Because when I think about nursing, which was my passion, I remember that Sister Indira. Oh, God. I don't know where she is now, but let me not say what I want to say. Can I say...
Was it white or Indian? Or?
Wakataha. She was Asian woman. Yeah, she was Indian. She just didn't like me. And I think she didn't like me because she just knew that... she wasn't attractive. So she just didn't like the fact that all the doctors really liked me, and it just worked her up. So I got onto this job seekers allowance, the government, they were giving me money, and I said, there's more to life. I want to go to Nigeria. I want to do music. I have an uncle in Nigeria. And that was it. That was it.
This was what year, though?
Sorry?
What year was it?
Oh my gosh, when did I come here? I think it was like 2014 for the first time. 2014.
About 9 years ago.
Yeah.
That must have been very profound. It takes a whole lot for one person to so traumatize another to the point where they're like, you know what, I don't want this profession.
Yeah.
I'm qualified to be a nurse because many young Nigerian ladies especially just want to qualify to be a nurse in the UK, right? And they're listening to this and say, oh my God, the qualified nurse in the UK abandons everything and comes back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
So at that point when you're like, I'm not going to live on food stamps and stuff like that, I want something more. So it made the decision easier for you to say, what's the worst that can happen? Let me go back to my home country.
Exactly. I've always known that you make it sound food stamps, okay? Hey, my destiny. Yes, Uriel was on food stamps. Where is the camera? I was on food stamps. I was on benefits. I chopped government money. Yes, I collect them. Yes, I have no shame. Yeah. What was I going to say to you? What did you ask me? Sorry, I was talking about the food stamps.
I was asking the point, how easy it was for you to make that decision to say, like, let me just go to Nigeria. Yeah. The whole culture shock. You've never been here. And then you must have suffered the culture shock when you came here. Yeah. But that was major for you to suddenly decide that, I have a home somewhere, so I'm going to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, and, having 4 brothers who had never been to Nigeria and seeing their younger sister just get up and go, they were like, wow, she's crazy, man. Uriel is nuts. And I kind of paved the way for them to, nobody in my house ever looked at Nigeria as a place they would want to revisit because in the Igbo culture, unfortunately, I'm going to say this, when my father passed away, right, in some, not Igbo cultures, I wouldn't want to pinpoint it to a particular culture, but in some cultures, when your husband passes away, and it's in a kind of unusual situation, the fingers, and especially if your father has money, the fingers will always be pointed at the wife. And a lot of the stuff like money and everything, they do that because they want to collect their money. So when my dad passed away, we were left with nothing. My dad had so much money. My dad had an account in the US. My dad had cars. He had everything. We didn't, nothing. And even his clothes, his watches and everything, they took everything.
And nobody in the family fought for you?
Nobody. The only person that fought for us was my mom. And my mom was pretty young when that happened. She was probably in her 30s. So when that happened, they took everything. They didn't give us any money. They didn't even ask, how would this young woman with 5 kids feed in Obodo Yibo? And my dad, not relocated. My dad just, my story is not relocated, but we were young. My mom just came, and it was like, how would she fend for herself? So I was born there. We went to Nigeria. I stayed for a bit. I think I was like 2, and then we came back to the UK. To the UK. So we just came back, and my dad left back to Nigeria for a court case. And that's when he passed away. That's when he had an accident and he died. But when everything happened, they didn't ask, how will my mom look after these 5 kids? Let's help her. They took everything. Everything. My mom was left with nothing. And I remember growing up in church, we always shopped in charity shops. Back then, we used to call it Oxfam. So all our jackets, all our clothes were always secondhand because my mom didn't have. My 2 elder brothers, they were always bullied. They acquired me. I was a rebel. You cannot bully me. I will beat you. That's my own. I don't know how, because when I was younger, I used to stutter a lot. So before I can say, leave me alone, I'll just slap you. Because that leave me alone is not coming down. I'll just give you one slap on your face.
Reminds me of my sister. She started too.
Yes.
And every time we had an argument, she ended up slapping
I
me.
will slap you.
I was a big brother.
You forgo. Yeah, see. So I'm still pretty much an aggressive woman. I don't think I'm learning to be feminine, but I've always been an aggressive woman because I grew up with boys. So my mom always shopped in charity shops. It was hard, I remember my mom, childhood memory, my mom would wait in the supermarket for them to almost close. And bread back then that they would sell for 50p. My mom will wait for the supermarket to almost close, and they'll start reducing their bread, their loaves of bread. They'll be signing because the bread, they're about to expire the next day or next 1-2 days. So they will reduce it to
go on sale.
They'll reduce it to like 15p, 10p back then. So my mom will wait from 50p, from £1 to 10p to 15p, and she'll pack everything, and then she'll bring it home. She'll put it inside the freezer, and all those breads are about to expire the next day. She'll put it in the freezer. So for the next few months, we have bread. Do you understand? That's how my mom shopped. We never had, all this food design. You have like the food brands, but we never had. We had all the lower brands. We ate all of that. My mom shopped in charity shops. I would go to school. Sometimes I would have holes in my shoe. I would use super glue to glue my trainers. I remember back then, popular trainers, my Reebok Classics. And I had these Reebok Classics, that black ones that, oh my, what that shoe? Hey, that shoe was like, I beg, Kapumaka, leave me alone.
It was your shoe of many colors.
Whether it's gown, whether it's jeans, I wore that shoe. So I wear this shoe. The shoe was even tired. The shoe, my toe would be sticking out. I would go and use super glue and stick it in the back, So that's how I grew up. But even with that, I had the best childhood. The first ever house we lived in the UK, we lived in one room, and it was given to us by the church, the New Testament Church of God in Streatham. And it was a Jamaican woman. She gave us a room in the house because they called us up. and this Nigerian woman with her kids. And we stayed in a one room. We stayed there for a few years. And from there, we moved into our own place. But it was, I was a child and I didn't know better. But looking back, I know that my mom struggled. There were times where I've never ever said this, but there were times where we didn't have light in our house. And my mom didn't have money to buy lights. Like then we have a meter. So to power the whole house, maybe for the next 3 weeks or whatever, you need £10. My mom didn't have £10. Sometimes she would not have anything. And I remember when I was younger, I used to go and ask my best friend to ask her mom, Auntie, please, please and she, a Ghanaian woman, and she would borrow us £10, £20. That's how we lived. Borrow us £10 to put lights. Our light has gone out. We don't have lights. We have school in the morning. Can't iron our clothes. We can't do anything. Or sometimes when, it's too late, the light goes off, we'll use candle, And that was the life we lived. My mom really tried her best and she got a job in Sainsbury's supermarket. And I remember I used to get teased. Oh yeah, mom is working in a supermarket. But I didn't care. I really didn't care because I think people always ask me, Uriel, my mom is sick right now, right? I always post my mom. She had a stroke and everything. People ask me, Uriel, why do you come across as being such a strong woman? Why are you so strong? Your mom is going through so much. Why do you always post your mom? I'm like, if you know what my mom went through and what my mom did for us, why would I be ashamed to post my mom? And the things I went through as a child, I didn't know, now as the woman I am, it really strengthened me. I don't take nonsense from anybody. I don't take handouts from anybody. If you give me handouts, I appreciate it, but I always find my way. I I do what I have to do within myself to get by. I recently, I remember December, my mom had a stroke, and this was like 10 years ago, and she developed dementia. But recently she had a new diagnosis. And it was something that I've never said it before, but she had a new diagnosis, which the C word. Nobody, just you guys, I'm giving you guys this. She had the C word, and it was her breast. It was a tumor, and this was in December, and this was in the summer last year. So we found out that my mom had cancer, and the cancer was brought on by her blood pressure. I think her blood pressure medications. It's released a lot of estrogen, so it was like it's the glands on her breast. Everything was it was working over time because there was so much estrogen inside her. So the tumors, began to grow. So she had 2 tumors in her breast. So my mom has been on medication. I've not posted her recently because she has been on medication. She's not doing chemotherapy. So she has responded very well to the medication. So one tumor is gone and the other one is shrinking. I sold my car last year because I thought to myself, I dropped everything in Nigeria. I sold my car, and because I was in the UK, I was changing money. At a point, I was in the UK for 6 months and I didn't think I'll come back to Nigeria. So I needed money. I sold my car and came back to Nigeria. I didn't have a car. Still don't have a car now. My friend lets me use his car. But when people look at me, I remember I saw a fan recently and I was in an Uber. If you see me in an Uber, I hold my head high. Do you know why? Because I didn't sell my car because I sold my car for a reason, and for a big reason, because I wanted to leave Nigeria to stay with my mom that had just been given a new diagnosis, and just stay with her. I didn't have any money. I don't have a man that's going to be sending me 20 million. If I do, God, glory be to God, I'll be appreciative. But I didn't have that. So that is the kind of woman I am. I do things myself. I make things happen myself. And I'm a very strong-minded person. So, I had a lot going on. And sometimes I look at my mom and I pity her. And I think the reason I live my life the way I live my life and I'm trying to be healthy is because I see my mom and she's gone the other way and she wasn't really keen on healthy living. But I look at my mom and I pity her because in your 30s, you became a widow. You had a stroke in your 50s, in your 60s. You're now in your 70s. You've got dementia. Sometimes you don't remember your children. You remember them. You don't remember this person. You remember them. And now you've been diagnosed with, she had colon cancer, actually. I found out she had colon cancer when she was in Nigeria with me. She came on holiday and I was changing her nappy, and I wiped her and I saw blood. And I was like, no, this is unusual. So I called my brother, I said, I just wiped mommy and I just saw blood, and it's fresh blood, So my brother was like, just keep an eye on it. And I kept dropping out like blood. She's not seeing her. It's not coming from her lady. It's coming from the back. So I booked an appointment with Dr. Ojuku in Lekki Phase 1. We did a colonoscopy and we saw the tumor. And when we immediately left the Nigeria. She had a surgery, removed the tumor, and everything was all clear. And then again, she had this breast cancer. So I look at her and I pity her because she did not have a life. My mom really did not have a life. She had, God forgive me, but she had a terrible life. If that was my life, I'd be like, God, why? Why me? She did not live. So I think that's what makes me strong. When I look at people, if like now, I know I'm going to get a car. I just paid for a house 2 days ago. And house is not cheap.
It's crazy, madness.
If I tell you how much I pay for a house in this Lekki Phase 1, a duplex, with my own money, my girl is here. She'll tell you I make juices for a living. I influence for brands. With my own money, I paid for a house myself because I wanted to expand my business. Right? And I stress a lot. And I try not to stress, but I know that a car will come. And I had a Honda, I forgot the name of it, Honda Accord. But I know that something better will come. I didn't have a house a few months ago. Money came, I worked hard, I paid for a house in Lekki. Car will come. So if you see me in an Uber and you want to make fun of me, that is up to you. I know what I've gone through and I know where I'm going to. So it doesn't faze me.
Powerful story. There's just so much to unpack. I mean, your mom was in the UK with the kids. Your dad comes home for a case, is involved in an unfortunate accident. And did you say somehow some people in the family tried to make it her fault that he died?
Of course. My dad's brothers. I think, but after a while, we came together and he apologized and tried to make amends, which he did. Which he did. My brothers forgave him and my mom forgave him. They cried, they hugged, but the damage has been done. We spent years suffering. My mom, not us, because we were kids, And I think we need to stop that in Nigeria. And I think that practice is still happens in Nigeria. A man dies and they point fingers at the wife. Why? That practice needs to be done. And they wanted to share us. They wanted to divide myself and my brothers. And that's what they do till today. I would say it in Igbo land, that they do it a lot. If a woman loses her husband, they will blame it on the wife. They need to stop doing that because it destroys a lot of destinies. It destroys so many destinies. Imagine now if they split us up, myself and my 4 brothers. Only God knows where I would be. I definitely would not be educated. I would definitely not be here. I would probably be somebody's, I would not be educated. I'll probably be married off to one, I don't know. But they had no good intentions for us. So this practice of blaming widows and saying that they're the ones that caused their husband, it needs to be stopped.
It's crazy.
It's traumatic. It is traumatic.
It is. It really is. I'm glad that you rose above all of that. I'm interested to know, however, what kind of support structure does your mother? I know her kids are probably there, but who's with her now? Your older ones. You have any younger ones?
I have a younger brother, but we're like a year and some months apart.
Okay.
Yeah, we're very close in age. So my brothers are all in the UK, and they all take it in turns to stay with my mom. So in my mom's house now, my mom's house is always full. You know, there's always people coming in and out. One night, this one will stay, this one will go, this one will stay. So there's always somebody there. And she has 24 hours care as well. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
Was there any aspect of, has there been any aspect of taking care of your mother that has been probably the most difficult, especially when you mention the little bout with dementia? I remember how tough it was for me when my dad died 3 years ago.
Sorry about that.
The late stage of things where suddenly a very healthy man just becomes a vegetable. It's
Crazy.
it does something to you. Is there any high point, or maybe more like low point, for you taking care of mom?
I think there's both. There's a high point. Looking after my mom for the last 10 years, you know, my mom was a very powerful woman. She would walk, very, energetic woman. You know, I remember her walking from the house to the tube station, and, she loved to cook. So the high points would be, I learned to be very patient, because naturally I'm not a patient person. I've always said naturally I'm aggressive. I'm an aggressive woman. I won't say aggressive, but I'm boyish, because I grew up with boys. So it taught me to be very patient and be very understanding. And it made me to become more, I'm a nurturer. So I'm a very motherly person. The downside would be, for me, I made peace with my mom's death, however it comes and how slow it comes. And I made peace because if we get a new diagnosis tomorrow, I made peace with all of that, whatever comes, I've made peace with it. It doesn't really faze me. Okay, how long does she have, or how can we make this easy for her? I've made peace with, I probably won't have my mom around when I have kids, or my mom will probably, lose her memory completely when I have children. I've made peace with that. I've made peace with not having my mom do omugo for me. I've made peace with that. That was a big thing for me. I used to lose sleep and become very depressed, knowing that I'm the only girl and I'm very close to my mom, but I would never have that connection of, my mom is going to do omugo for me. I would never have that. And I made peace with that. I let that go years ago. And I made peace with, my children will probably not have grandparents. I made peace with that too. But in all of that, I still have faith, because with God, anything is possible. And that is where I anchor my mind to, with faith. I know the real, but I know that with God, with faith, anything can happen. I mean, hey, my mom has had dementia for 10 years. She's beat colon cancer and she's beat breast cancer. What are the odds? Do you understand? So it's had its highs, it's had its lows, Yeah.
I was thinking when you mentioned the circumstances when mom was struggling and how you had to struggle and all of that. Do you feel that there are a significant number of Nigerians who are going through maybe different circumstances, but financially they're really struggling? They live in the UK or elsewhere abroad. They're really struggling. When you're here in Nigeria, you just assume that everybody there is just bawling and all of that. What has your experience shown?
Is it boiling? It's okay. Well, some people are bawling, some people are not. I think people in Nigeria, when they say, UK, they think, this person is making money, or UK, pounds. But they don't know that some people will come to Nigeria December, they'll be flexing in the UK, or they're doing cleaning job. That's their last ago. That's their last money. Some people will, they always think that, in the UK, money falls from tree, and it's not the case. I have brothers that have good jobs, and sometimes they work 2 jobs. They have their business on top. I have uncles that they're working 3 jobs. So it's not easy. I have friends that have relocated from Nigeria to the UK, and they're struggling. They are struggling. I have friends who are married and, they've brought their wives or whatever, their wife, and she's working care job, working in a factory. He's working in a factory. It is not easy. It's not. And there's a lady that came out and said, oh, Uriel is always discouraging people from going to the UK. But Nigerians are not master planners. We are not. And that is the core of the situation. Nigerians will leave Nigeria with 1 kobo in their bag and say, I will go to UK and be Agbabola. It's not true. It's not going to happen. Nigerians, we do not plan. We say, yes, we leave it to God. I just said now that I have faith in God, but I know the reality. That's a difference. So now, Nigerians do not know the reality. They will leave Nigeria not knowing the reality and use faith to enter the UK or America or Canada. And they are like, hey, Ogidineme here. So I always say to people, as the same way you are applying faith, apply reality to it. Do your research. Do what you need to do. Because it's not easy out there. I was born, not that I just relocated there. I was born and raised there. And I can tell you, me that I was born there, I use my own 2 legs, waka, come off for that place. I'm the indigene of that place. I use my own 2 leg, Warsaw, enter Nigeria. It's not easy. So if you want to relocate, I'm not saying don't relocate, but it's not by faith, it's not by doing Bible verse. I walk by faith, not by sight. The Lord has not given me the spirit of fear, but of power. Yes, you can do that one, but Biko, may your research. Do your due diligence. Because some of them go there, they go under the radar, they live their life there. And they are not, some of them, they don't have healthcare because they are working under the radar. They call them under the radar. I have uncles in the US too. Today, they don't even have papers. They've been papers. They've been in the US for 40 years, 50 years plus. They don't have paper. They don't have passports. Is that life? You hear knock on a door. You go and hide under chair. Is it police? Is it immigration? Is that life? It's not life. And there are also Nigerians that are making it out there. But those people have done their what? Due diligence. They have done their research. It's not by only Chineke. Apply reality to spiritual and you're okay. But we don't have that mindset. We know they hear about in Nigeria. So I don't know. I can't help them.
This is an interesting debate because, sometimes people drag you when you tell them one way or the other.
Yeah.
The dominant narrative is Omorono, at the slightest opportunity, Japa cut out. And I know how many friends of mine who wonder. Sometimes they look at you and say, you're not one of those people who don't have the opportunity or the choice. What are you doing here? Everybody's like, what in the world are you doing here? I mean, Frank Edoho was sitting right across from me, just where you're sitting. We're having this same conversation. And I've talked to multiple people, Alibaba, to his thoughts and I even talked to Desmond Majakodumi, who himself was born of a British mother to a former Nigerian minister, and who up until today only carries a Nigerian passport. He's entitled. His wife his late wife was American. He could have gotten an American passport. He could have gotten a British passport. He chose to have none. He just carries his Nigerian passport. Makes his life difficult most times, yes, but he still carries the Nigerian passport. And I remember some of the comments. Some people were saying all sorts of things to him, like Mr. Man. Some of them said it was racism. Right? It's just because you are half white. If you were not half castes, you wouldn't dare. But to the question itself, is it worth it if you're literally struggling? And there's some Nigerians, Tell me, are there Nigerians on the streets of the UK or not? Literally on the streets. Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
you see some of them. I've seen quite a number. In some places, it's heartbreaking, really heartbreaking, where you are visiting, but you are hiding from your Niger brothers because their circumstances are so ridiculous. You don't even want to associate, and you literally have to, and you just changed Naira to a few dollars or a few pounds, and you find that you have to take care of people over there. The question is, and I know you've been dragged for this, if it came down to you, would you tell to the struggling Niger person, and I'm not talking about those who are doing well. Niger, I once had a friend. I met him in the UK, and an old friend. We had been friends here for many years, and then he'd sold everything. He sold his car, sold everything, left the country, and years later, and I ran into him, and he said, "It's bad, man. It's really, really bad." And I was like, "Why not come home?" You know what he told me? It was a shame. It's like, what do you mean? And I remember telling him, it's like there's a kind of shame that makes a girl who gets pregnant out of wedlock sometimes. I can understand if there are other reasons, but if it's just shame that makes you go for an abortion, and if you had the opportunity to look 15, 20 years down the line, and for those who wanted an abortion and for certain reason they didn't have, and 15, 20 years down the line, they're sitting with their daughter, or with their son, they're having a conversation. Usually they were like, thank God. But if shame is everything, who's going to remember that this is your daughter, this is your son, you had them
exactly
out of wedlock? Who's going to remember if you come home, you picked your pieces, you're educated, you have a degree? And there's one other thing. Sometimes, when you've lived abroad for a number, especially if you get educated here, you really have some advantages if you presented your resume, and you studied in what universities?
South Bank University, and I trained in King's College Hospital.
Good. And you also have a degree in creative writing.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, if you really wanted a job, if you didn't have your businessman and you just said, I wanted a job, people are going to look at your resume and say,
Absolutely.
So do you find that people would just rather sleep on the streets there, even when they had family homes and they knew they could come back here and start their life again and probably have an advantage having been out there for a while? Do you see that? And if you do see that, what would you say to somebody like that?
I think our Nigerian brothers and sisters, especially when you see things on social media, we don't have the mindset of forgive and forget. We have the mindset of we take joy in using somebody's life as a cruise. Cruising with somebody's life, making fun of somebody. We love that in Nigeria. So when you see somebody that leaves Nigeria and they go to the UK and they're living rough and they're sleeping rough, it's going to be very hard for them to come back to Nigeria because they know that they're going to be mocked. They're going to be shamed. And it's not going to be so if you know Nigerians, if your case enters Nigerian, even Nigerian Twitter, or it enters the blog or anything like that, they will drag you. They know they forget anything. Nigerians will drag you from kingdom come. You can even become depressed. In fact, you are depressed. Depression is you. You are depression. You are the definition of depression in the dictionary. So now you're in Obodo Yibo and you're sleeping rough. You're not making money. I've even seen some Nigerians that are now taking heavy drugs on the streets. Their teeth, everything is rotten. You see them, sister, I beg. You go to the places like Peckham, Brixton. Like, I go there to buy meat, fish. You can get it very cheap, right? So I go to the ghetto areas to get all those, the African shops. And you see them and they're drugged out and you just see, not all. What can you tell them? You can't, because you know that they come back to Nigeria, they're going to be mocked. So they would rather be there. And then most of these people, you ask them, why are they in that situation? How did they even come to the UK or wherever? And you would understand that there were no adequate planning. They did not plan properly. They came on a student visa for 1 year, or they came on this one for 1 year, or and their visa ran out, and that was it.
Interesting. So you really bust into the consciousness of Nigerians in 2017. Is that it?
Yeah.
Big Brother Niger. Which one was that? That was it the Sigobe or
Sigobe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the same one, the one Miracle one?
FA.
FA, no, not Miracle, it's FA.
Yeah.
So you had
Bisola, T-Boz, Kemen, Gifty, Bassi, Beyonce, Painful Tony.
That was a powerful cast.
Yeah, I think we were the pioneers. Like we brought it back after like 10 years of absence. Yeah, so. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, people used to say you were like the chef of the house. I was once they were even dragging you or stuff like that, or cooking. Maybe they know now with time having passed, considering your interest in food, cooking, and all of that. But then, were there moments in the house that? Was there a particular moment in the house that really sticks out for you? For good or for ill?
2017. Going into the Big Brother house 2017, I always knew that I wouldn't win. I went into the house not to win because I knew that Nigerians, I'm a smart woman, right? And I knew that Nigerians love a sob story, and Nigerians loved. So I was told 2016, I applied for Big Brother Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But I was told that I didn't get accepted into Big Brother Africa because I was too British. So I couldn't represent Nigeria as a Nigerian. But for Big Brother Nigeria, there's so many different variations of Nigerians. Those have lived abroad, whatever. So yes, that was acceptable. So I went into the Big Brother house in 2017, and I knew I was not going to win because Nigerians love a sob story. And I did not have a sob story within the Nigerian whatever. I didn't have that. So I went into the house knowing I wouldn't win, but I wanted to make a mark. And I made a mark in the diary session. They used to call me Big Brother's girlfriend. And I made a mark with my cooking, but I think more so I made a mark with the way my interaction, the way I spoke, the way I would always mix Igbo and English, and I do it till today. It's just me. So I made a print with that, and all these years later, I'm still, relevant. I think I'm one of the most relevant. Well, not most, but I'm still relevant within my own right. Especially 2017 to 2025, it's not easy. I have very good engagement on my page. Very, very good engagement. I still work with top brands today. And it's because I know myself. And I always have a plan. Always have a plan. I know how to market myself. And I think what has helped me through is my mouth. My mouth, I don't know when to shut up. I talk everything. The one that you don't even ask me, I'll talk it. I talk that one. So that's what has always... I remember when I auditioned for 2017 and how I knew I would get in. There was like 30 people. And they said, when you walk in, everything is an audition or... Everything's an audition or... They were ringing it to people or... So 30 people walked into a room and 2 judges... 30 people. Introduce yourself. I was number 27. Everybody, hi, my name is Ade. Hi, my name is John. Hi, my name is Jane. Number 27. They were expecting me to say, hi, my name is Uriel. It said, please introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Uriel. Hey, Uriel Oputa. When I did that, all the judges said, hey, God, what is this one? And then all the contestants were just looking at me like, This one, they are going to kick her out. So we waiting be this one. So number 28 said their own. The other one decided to do beatbox because he saw this one gingered me. He did his beatbox. Do you know, out of 30 people, only two people went on to the next round, the final round. And it was myself and the beatbox guy. Because just imagine being a judge and you've been doing this the whole day. Who are you going to remember when in a room of 30 people? You're going to remember the lady that sang her name and just made you cringe. And that was me. I made her cringe. And I had a golden ticket. And I remember going to the next round, that I left everybody in that room in stitches. Everybody was laughing. One of the judges laughed. The guy was crying because I was just talking I was just talking nonsense. And that's how I got through.
Your code mixing going from British to Ras.
They said, who is this person?
Why did you develop your very local, when did you develop this Igbo? Did you speak Igbo growing up in the UK? Did, yeah. Your mom made sure?
Yeah, my mom always spoke to us in Igbo. My mom is a village woman. My mom always spoke to us in Igbo. So I understand Igbo. I speak it to a certain extent. So I've always mixed Igbo and English. I love doing it, you know. So I could be speaking properly. Then you hear me say, hey, Chineken. Hey. You see this one, eh? Oh, the quite risky. Eh? Bia, bia, bia. So that's the kind of person I am. So I switch. And it's just me. It's my thing. And that's what's carried me through.
So you've been in the Big Brother house twice now. You came back for the...
All-Stars.
Or the All-Stars.
All-Stars.
Who of all the people you had spent time in the house with do you remember that just stands out that I can't stand this person?
Nobody, because the one blocks. Who did I have friction with in the house? Do you know my set? I had no issues with my set. 2017 and 2023. I think we're all mature. Nothing. It was no bad belly. Nothing at all. I can't think of. I can't allow anybody to make me feel like I don't want to. Like, who are you to make me feel that way? Like, you're not paying my bills. You're not doing any of those stuff. So why would I even allow you to have that sort of control over my emotions? It doesn't work. I'm too strong-minded for that. I leave the situation. I walk away. I blank you. You don't exist. And that is how I live my life. 100%. So, yeah, I don't think I would let anybody get to me that way.
Do you make money immediately from Big Brother, or was it just the endorsements that followed?
Hey, which money? Hey, that what you have said is my heart is. When I left Big Brother 2027, the house. When I came back, I opened my bank account. It was the same money that I left inside my bank account. I entered the house. Which money? Please, is there money? There was no money there. I did not win anything in that show. The only thing I knew in that show was to be doing diary sessions and be talking shibri inside diary session and making people laugh. When I left the Big Brother house and I came back into reality. I opened my account. I was expecting to see millions. I said, how much was it? Yeah, I think then I saw like 50K. I said, hey, Jesus. Hey, I said, sir, are you dropping me to my house? Because this transfer money from where we date to where I'm going to, go reach you. So Big Brother is a platform. If you win money in the house through games and everything, which I didn't, I met the same money in my account. I think it was 50K, even 40K self. So it's left for you as an individual, as the housemate, to now make money, to put yourself out there. You've got the platforms to entice the brands. To create a path for yourself, whether it's cooking, whether it's music, whether it's media, it's left for you. They have given you the platform. And that is what I did. I make money from talking. I make money from juices. I make money from influencing. I make money from anything. I can sell you your own shoe. That your shoe now. I can take your shoe
from you and sell it back to you.
That your shoe that you're wearing now, I would tell you, give me your shoe now. I would say, I have this cream. If I rub it on your cream, dust will not touch your shoe again. It will not touch your shoe. You say, oh yeah, now, how much is this cream? And the cream is Vaseline, Vaseline that I went to go and buy in supermarket for how much? I'll put the cream. You buy it back. Me, I'm able, I can make money from anywhere. So it's there for you.
So you went in broke and came out broke.
I came out
famous.
broke.
Broke and famous.
I broke and famous. I made sure that they dropped me to my house because that money was not enough for transportation. So my first deal was with one of the sponsors of Big Brother then. And I was their brand ambassador of plus size modeling then. And they paid me my first 3 million naira. How? I was all over the billboards. They did a store opening. Then I did a cook show with one media house, and then I had major sponsors, seasoning sponsors, and that was it. It just kept going and kept going and kept going. And here I am today. They asked me to come back on to All Stars Big Brother, and I'm still hustling. No, I'm still hustling. I've not reached me. I say I don't have motor. It no be my friend's car. I use come here, but God will give me motor because I have a house, and my house is very pretty. My house is very nice, and you guys probably can't afford my house, but my house is very nice. I got a very beautiful house, a beautiful garden, a kitchen that I'm going to do up to my huge kitchen. So I'm lucky to have that house. So the next one is car, moto. So
I think a car brand will see this conversation and give you an ambassador deal straight away.
Please, if you're a car brand and you want somebody, Zibo person to come and push your brand, call me, call you. Me, I know how to drive. I can drive in UK, drive in Nigeria, I can drive in America. I have different license. You don't. Call me. Bomb.
Your cooking show. You know, all the while you've been a business-minded person, and some people still tend to restrict you to Big Brother. You know, they think that's all there is to you. So tell me about this cooking show. I hear you are selling out plates. How many thousands of plates have you sold out of your cooking?
I don't know. I've sold a lot of plates. I make a lot of money with food. And it's very interesting, and sometimes it's not physical food. So I sell my recipes because I have a very distinctive way of cooking. I'm very creative with food. So I sell my recipes. I sell meal plans. I create meal plans for people that want to lose weight. And I make juices. So I make money from all aspects of food. It's not just the physical selling of the food. So yeah.
It's brilliant.
All-rounder, yeah. So I'm a hustler.
Are you going to move on from cooking at some point, or is it a we die there kind of
thing? Here, seasoning. Oh, very soon. Or you people I'm going to be launching my own seasoning. So in my new house, I have my garden. I'm going to buy a big grill, and I'm going to be grilling. Is it like alligator, turkey? Don't worry. The content that is loaded for that new house, you people don't even know. So there's so many things you can do with food. I eventually want to have my own cookbook, and it's innovative cooking, and it's a mixture of Western dishes with West African dishes. And I'm not going to subject it to only Nigeria because I grew up with so many different influences. I grew up with Ivorian friends. I grew up with Ghanaian friends. I grew up with Liberian friends. So it's the whole West African cooking, Ghanaian friends. So it's Western and Western African / the British cooking, everything created in one. And my food is amazing.
Let's just piggyback a bit to your Big Brother Nigeria days. Your eviction, that was my fame. That Big Brother set was my best, the one that I really followed. I'm trying to remember the circumstances surrounding your eviction, but I'm wondering why, because I've heard people suggest that you were just too real for TV. Do you feel that way? And you talked about your diary sessions. Did you have any shower sessions out there during?
So I think you're right. I think then Nigerians don't like real people. They don't like people that will tell you like it is, and that is it. We like to pretend in this country. How we can pretend? You see somebody wearing a bean bag, dustbin liner, and they'll tell you that this is a Chanel jacket, you believe them. That's what we like in Nigeria. But I'm the kind of person, if I'm wearing a dustbin bag, I would say it's a dustbin bag. It is dustbin. It's not, it's dustbin. And I think I was too real, and that was an issue. Even with this, my second time coming in, I was too real. So the first time I got evicted, it was people loved me because of my diary sessions, but they didn't see it coming. And the second time around, they didn't see it coming too. So it trended. There was an uproar. Both times there was an uproar because people were like, literally, the only reason we watch the show and we tune in for the diary session is to hear Uriel talk. It's to hear Uriel entertain us and laugh. So it was, oh my God, it trended. People were like, bring Uriel back. But I don't care, because I can never change who I am. I am me. And I will always tell it like it is. People don't like to hear the truth. And I will tell you the truth. I will tell you the truth. And it's because now I've been very vocal about the way women are perceived in Nigeria. There's this thing we have in Nigeria of age shaming women. Once a woman reaches 30, your own don't spoil, that your grandma, your this, your that. We have the culture of doing that, and that needs to stop. Age shaming is such a real thing in Nigeria. It's such a real thing. And I've been so vocal about it because there are a lot of women who are in their 30s and their 40s, and they feel like they're expired milk. They are not beautiful anymore. And that is the time to apply pressure. When you get into your 30s and your 40s, that is the time to hit the gym, look nice, and just look the best you can. Not to just go and say, okay, my own don't finish. So people just don't like real people in Nigeria. And I can't change it. I'm me, I'm Uriel. And that's what has brought me this far, being real and being who I am. Whether I left early in the competition or I left late, I'm still relevant. Back in 20, I'm still more relevant. Let me make I not talk am.
One moment.
Make I not talk am before you say, well, this will come and carry me. But yeah, make I not talk am.
Yeah.
But I'm still relevant.
Yeah.
Even person
Than
in
some
2017,
other alumni
people that went to the last day, gone to the last day. Me, I'm still more relevant. And it's not because I'm better than them, it's because I know myself.
You put in the work.
I know myself. I did musical. When I saw music was not paying me, I used my own 2 leg, I entered business. I entered this, I entered that. I can't stay. If I know that it's not working, I'm out.
So let's talk about relationships first.
Okay, sure.
You never dated anybody in the house, did you?
No.
No. So relationships, and it's multi-pronged. So one, you've got to pack it anyhow. As a kid growing up in the UK, did you, like your teenage years, did you find yourself dating more white males or, Africans, black males? I need to know that. And I also want to know what a relationship has been for you here and how you are handling Lagos men.
Yeah, oh, gosh. I hate that word. That sentence, Lagos men.
Marks of disgust.
Good.
Yeah?
Okay, so I've always dated Oyibo men because I grew up in an Oyibo distance. So most of my boyfriends were mixed race, whites with this, whites with Arab, but I've always dated Oyibo people. My first ever boyfriend was a white guy, whatever. And then I dated, started obviously being in Nigeria, dating Nigerian guys. Oh, gosh. Hey, you people, I don't even understand. It is hard. In Nigeria, it is hard to date a Nigerian man. I don't understand why you people are so complicated.
It's the men that are complicated now.
The men are complicated. It is hard, though. You see a woman in Nigeria now, she will be 35. Some of them are even 40, 41, 42. They are still single. Fine girls. They are still single. Why? Ogini? What is happening? It's hard to find a decent man in Nigeria. And it boils down to what? We have a culture of, there's always something better. There's always something better. There's always something better. There's nothing better. The one that you have, not be Don Jazzy Tokam. I'm sorry to say this, so I know I would blog. I'm sorry to say this. I love Don Jazzy, right? I do love him. I love him like no other. He's such an amazing person. But I feel like when he said that, he said something about not being able to stay with one woman.
Yeah. He hails those of us who are able to.
Who are
well
able
done
to.
if you're able to, but I'm unable to.
He's unable to.
Yeah.
I feel that boils down to maybe the type of women he goes for. And if I see him, I'll say maybe try a different type of woman.
But he also says, well, whatever it was that I saw in you that made you attractive to me, I'm going to see it in someone else too.
Not at all. And that boils down to the type of woman. Because a lot of the men in Nigeria, okay, like what Danjazzy said now, I think sometimes they don't date for substance. They don't date for substance. They date for what they see physically on the outside. And that transcends to the majority of Nigerian men. That is their outlook. They cannot stay with one woman because they don't date for substance. They date hey, look at this figure 8, all that kind of rubbish. They date for that. They don't date for substance. So if you date for that, of course you're going to see another girl with a bigger uku, a bigger this one, finer face, because you're not dating for what the woman really, really, really has. Her mindset, you're dating for the physicality of things. So if you're dating for the physicality of things, of course you're going to always see something that is better and more appealing. And I think that is the problem we have with Nigerian men. We feel like we're spoiled for choice. We don't date with intention. We don't date for substance. And that is it. So Don Jazzy, Biko, if you're looking for a woman, please go and look for a woman that can make you akpo. Correct akpo. She makes you akpo now with open sala. Fine girl, do that one.
You know, I was just smiling because I was just remembering my wife. She says, you know, when we have this chicken fight and all of that, and I'm like, I don't even know why I married you. You married me for my character. I say, you mean you're bad character?
You see?
You talked about, I mean, do you think that men are probably scared of relationships with women having transactional nature of some of these relationships in the back of their minds? I mean, you said something now. I don't have a man who gives me 20 million and all of that.
Doesn't mean I don't want to. Please,
yeah.
my
So
help,
you want.
watching me.
So that's the thing.
Like they go, please.
Do you think that sometimes it's also part of the problem? That men just feels that a relationship is more about billings and.
Absolutely. I think now we're at a stage where everything is, I've said this before, everything is transactional. You know, a man, if he's paying for your house and buying you a house in Lekki Phase 1 or in Banana Islands or in Ikoyi, or if he's flying you to Dubai and buying you Hermes bags and he's buying you all sorts of things, he doesn't want to know. You can't stress me. Don't come and be giving me stress. So your own is to, I don't want to be vulgar, but do what you have to do and look pretty, you know, massage my back, do this, and I'll give you the money. It's transactional. And most of those girls are aware that there are other girls involved in the picture. They know that they're not the only girl. They know fully well I'm not the only girl. So it is transactional. So as a man, if you have a transactional relationship with a woman, it is so easy for you to divert and digress from that relationship because there's always going to be something better. It's transactional because you don't care about what is inside that woman. You don't care about her substance. You don't care about her who she truly is. You just care about what is the materialistic thing you're looking at, her outer beauty. So as long as you have that, there will be no grounds for you to settle down with one person.
Can you tell though when the man is in it, not for the transaction, but that he's totally into you? Because
Absolutely.
there are also reports and records, experiences that we've seen of men who go, plunge into this relationship with this one woman, and the woman messes him up.
Absolutely. So I would say it's the culture we're in right now. Everything is transactional, both man and woman. A woman might date a man because, hey, I don't really like you. You're not my type. You're too fair. You're too tall. You're too short. You're too this, whatever. I just want to get what I am to. So women even date men because they want to have a place to live, or they want to have somebody that will be giving them money. Even if you give them, you'll be buying them lunch. I like the way he buys me this food or rice and chicken. Let me come and stay with him. For any sort of reason. Do you understand? So yes, there are men out there that are serious-minded, but because we're in a culture where everybody is trying to gain, everybody is trying to gain something and get something from you, it's hard to find two people that are serious that will come together and make something beautiful. Because you can have a serious guy and an unserious girl. You can have a serious, unserious girl and a serious guy. So it just depends. But it's hard. But if you see a man that is serious, you will know. If I meet a man that is very serious, I will know. Listen, most of the ladies are in relationships, you're in that relationship and you've been with that guy for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you're staying with that guy, the guy has not proposed to you. It's mad that the guy will not marry you. You know that the guy will not marry you because there's a voice, whether we call it, I call it your intuition. That voice will be saying one name, Bosso, run, or happen this guy, happen this guy, happen this guy. You wake up, one name, happen this guy. It will be telling you, but you're still there 2, 3 years down the line. We don't listen. And that is it. A lot of women are in relationships right now because of what they feel like they can get, and it's not working out 3, 4 years down the line. It's not working out, but they're still inside it, So I want to actually say this. I've been in that situation, but like I said, I'm the kind of woman, if it's not working, that's I listen to my spirit. If you're in that sort of thing and it's not working, both men and women, time waits for nobody. Get up and go.
Don't waste anybody's time. Don't waste anybody's your own time. Right?
Don't waste your own time. Do not waste your own time. And then a lot of women are afraid. We have some women that have children and they've had kids and they feel like, oh, no man will want me. A man will want you even if you have 10 children. Even if you have stomach, your stomach reach your knee. If he likes you, he likes you. Even if you are shaped like this, your radio that is here. You don't have scalp. Your body is like this radio, square. You don't have hip.
Insult my
you don't have uku. You don't have nothing. Everything is just flat like this radio. If a man likes you, he will like you. And that is it.
I agree. Younger women, you're on record as having said that you're getting a lot of younger men come after you. Do you find that flattering or frustrating?
So I've had this issue all the time. Younger men, I'm in my late 30s now, so younger men tend to always gravitate towards me. Men in general always gravitate towards me. I've always had men just like me. But younger men love me. And I used to find it very offensive because it was at a point in life, I would say 2 years ago, where I was so desperate to get married. I was, when you're obsessed about marriage and children, I was obsessed to get married and it was eating me alive and it was making me sick. And I met somebody. And that person, that guy showed me pepper. Oh yeah, showed me. That guy gave, that crocodile pepper. That guy showed me crocodile pepper.
Alligator pepper.
Alligator pepper. That one. That guy showed me pepper. After the obsession of marriage and children vanished from my head immediately. When I left that relationship, it vanished from my head immediately. It vanished from my head. So now I don't wake up thinking, oh, I want to have children. When it happens, it happens. I cannot rush God. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So, I'm digressing for your thing. What was your thing again? What was your thing? Is the alligator people that digress?
young
women. What about them?
Younger men.
Younger men. So these younger men. So then, when I was desperate, I used to be like, leave me alone because you're 28. I'm almost 8 years older than I knew, or whatever. What can you offer me? But the ones that are in their 40s, 42, 43, 44, those ones are the ones that are showing you Ezibo Pepe. Those ones have zero offer. 0.0. But it's younger ones. You see some younger boys now. You look online, they're getting married, they're making homes. So for me, I don't judge anybody anymore based on age, based on even your pocket size. You see, so let me tell you, all these women, I say, oh, I want to date a billionaire. There are some billionaires out there, or men, very rich men out there. You'll be dating them, or you're married to them, but it will be like you're dating a guy that does not have shingbe because they are stingy. So as a woman, don't say, yes, pray for a man that has money, but pray for a man that is generous to you. A generous, kind man. That's what you should pray for. Because a man can have 50K in his account here, but that 50K can be like 500 million. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So pray for that. So for me, I wouldn't date a 28-year-old because I think it's a bit too young for me. But somebody in their early 30s, 34, 35, 36, I probably would date. I would date, yeah. But 28, 25, y'all, you guys are kids, man. Kids. Yeah.
Because there's also the emotional maturity
Yes.
too that you look out for,
Yes.
right?
And I'm a very outspoken. My friend always says, you cannot be saying what you are. You have to let but I know I'm a very smart woman. I am very smart.
Wow,
I'm very outspoken.
Do you think men sometimes are afraid of you? They like you, but your wit, your intellect,
it does scare them a little bit. But then I think a lot of men find it attractive, especially, I've had older men who've been divorced and stuff like that. They approached me. A lot of older men just love. I went on this was like, I think last year, went on a date with an older guy in the UK. And I think he was towards his like 50s, going towards his late 50s. And he was just like, it was the company, because you talk to me, I can talk to you about anything, politics, fashion, education, blah, blah, blah. I have a vast range of, things to speak about. And men find that attractive, but then some men find it very intimidating.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, because if you find the way I talk very intimidating, it means that you're not for me, because I can't talk to somebody that's obo. Obo like stockfish. You cannot be talking to you, be like, what do you talk? It's not gonna happen.
The direct opposite of us.
Yes. If I see a younger guy that is able to connect to me and talk to me on that level, and you can talk, why not? I don't discriminate. Men have shown me Pepe that for me to know that it's not by age. You cannot come and see a man that is 40 or 35 and say this person is a mature man. Yes, he's responsible. That person is not responsible. That one is a teenager. In
old babies.
My dear.
So you seem very family oriented, and all of that. Yet you were being dragged some time ago over comments you made about freezing your eggs.
Yeah, because I spoke about, freezing my eggs, because at the point, like I said to you, I was really desperate about having children. And I was like, I don't want to be premenopausal or be in my 40s and start having children. But I can't do anything about it if I've not met the right person. And I've done everything in my power to look good and do whatever. It's God. Everything is in God's hand. And I'm not desperate. I think when you become desperate as a woman, you meet the wrong people. And I was desperate a couple of years ago and I met the wrong person, okay? And if the wrong person thinks I'm talking about you, I'm not talking about you, because I know this person was just thinking I'm not talking. I'm just saying you will meet the wrong people. You will meet the wrong people. Do you understand? If you put yourself, men sense desperation.
Yeah, true.
Men sense desperation and they will prey on it. So for me, I don't give off any desperation vibes. I am me. I enjoy. I go to the gym. When I go to my guys, watch me up and down in my gym. I have so much confidence. I'm the one to say, I want you or I don't want you. Because I will not date a man that will put me through stress. I don't have that energy. Do not put me through stress. I don't have that energy. I have gone through stress all my life from childhood. I've packed my mom's poop, changed my mother's nappy, fed my mom. I've looked after my mom like I've looked after a child. I don't want to enter marriage or relationship and be stressing. That's why even people that I work with, I say, do not stress me. If you stress me, I will get rid of you. And I don't like stress. My ex, you stress me, I walk away. Work, you stress me, I get rid of you. I don't like stress. Because my mom is in her situation and had a stroke because of what? Stress. She had a stroke because of stress. Do I want to end up the same way? No. So if you're stressing me, Biko, I got full later. Bye-bye. Kachifo. Bye-bye. So I'm at a point where I'm very certain and sure about myself. And I know that I know that I'll probably be having kids in my late 30s, in my early 40s. And I'm happy with that because there are so many women who are having children later on in life. It's not a thing, times are changing. And I have nothing against that. It's my journey. I've always been a late bloomer. So I got famous later on in life, Big Brother later on in life. And it's just my life. That's just what God has destined for me. Yeah.
I'm just thinking, Nigerians who live abroad, if you were going to say an experience that you know that Nigerians go through a lot abroad, and whether it's racism or maybe an offshoot of that, relationship with law enforcement and all of that. If somebody's listening to this podcast somewhere in Peckham or Houston, Texas, and where we know we have quite a substantial Nigerian community. And if they were your audience, what would you say to them in terms of experiences and how to cope?
For me, are we talking like personal experiences or just being, them relocated?
Yeah, sharing your experiences and, of course, the knowledge you've garnered through the years from the experiences of others, what's been shared, what you've seen, your brothers, your friends, and Africans in the diaspora.
So I would say, like I've always said, I always tell my brother this. I always say, no position is permanent. No position is permanent. And I feel like always do your best to better yourself, whether it's with education or all these small courses you can do, whatever. Do the best to be a better version of yourself. Don't look at somebody and say, oh, I want to be like that person. You can never be like your idol or your icon or whoever. You can never, because your path and their path are two different things. Always strive to be the better version of yourself. Empower yourself. Never put yourself in a position where you put all your hopes into man. Never put yourself in that position. Nobody should be your breadwinner, if this person does not help me, I don't have anybody. No. You have to empower yourself. And that's what I would tell everybody else. And I would say that I know that it's not easy if you're in the diaspora and whatever, it's not easy. But sometimes it's going to sound harsh, but sometimes you need to say no to family. You need to say no to family sometimes. And just for you to collect yourself and recollect yourself and know what you're doing with yourself, you need to say no to family, because sometimes people don't understand what you're going through. They see you and they know that, oh, you're in this place, this person. You need to say no. And if it's going to hurt them for a short period of time, let it hurt them for a short period of time. You've said no. But you need to focus on you. You need to empower you. You need to be the focus. And I would say that also, if you have people that are always showing up for you in life, people that, whether you have money, you don't have money, they're calling you to see how you are, and they're not family members. Listen, being family is more than blood. Being family is that connection, that connection. It could be your friend, it could be your neighbor. Family it's like a broad umbrella. It's not only by blood. And you see somebody that's always checking on you, draw them closer to you. Because when you're living in those places like the UK, America, it's very lonely, especially in the UK. Very, very lonely. Draw friends closer. Empower yourself. And if you're single as well and you're living in the UK, you're living in in the US, wherever you're, listen, don't fall into anybody's stereotype. Don't fall into anybody's frame, age, gender, whatever. Don't fall into that. When God created you and God created John or God created Ade, everybody had their own set time for marriage, for being born. You wasn't born in the same time as your friend. Oh, my friend is married at 25. Me, I'm 35. I'm still waiting. But was you born on the same day? Do you have the same birth date? You don't have the same birth date. So why are you going to base your marriage and the time your friend time you're going to get married against the time your friend got married? Everybody's path is different. So if you're single and you're out there, please understand that. Don't rush into anything that will make you rush back out, or you would live in a marriage and you're living in absolute pain and torment. So that is my advice.
So, which will bring me home. Nigeria and the Nigerian nation.
Yeah.
I want to know your thoughts on it. It's been 12 years since you literally came back home here. I know you shuttle, you go, you come, but this is your base for the past 12 years. So 2 questions. One, what are your thoughts on Nigeria today? What are your hopes and your fears? And then would you advise anybody abroad to try what you tried and come back home?
So I think Nigeria is a place where I would say Nigeria is like mini America, in the sense of you can be anything you want to be in Nigeria, but it takes obviously connection and putting yourself in the right place. But a lot of us don't have patience in Nigeria. We don't have patience. We want everything to be done now. We don't have patience. And that word patience, or exercising that word patience, can change a lot of things about for that person. We don't have patience in this country. So I would say my advice would be to, sorry, I'm losing my words here. Sorry. Ask me the question again. Sorry.
Nigerians living abroad. First, your thoughts about Nigeria as a nation.
Yeah.
And then whether you would advise that Nigerians living abroad attempt what you attempted 12 years ago.
Yeah. So so I'll start with this. Okay. So I would start with how I left the UK and how I came to Nigeria. It was like a gamble for me. I take gambles, I take risks. That's just the kind of person I am. I'm very strong-minded. I'm extremely strong-minded. I wouldn't say do it because I had no plans. I told you, it's typical Nigerians. We don't have plans. We just jump and go. I jumpered and I came to the UK, to Nigeria. I had no plans. But I would say times have changed and things are harder, both in the UK, both in Nigeria. So I would say make your plans, do your due diligence, make your plans. If you're planning to relocate to anywhere, I would say plan yourself properly. And I would say don't look at Nigeria as Nigeria is a terrible place, because there's a lot of misconceptions about Nigeria. Nigeria is a beautiful place, and like I said, yes, I know my train of thought now. Nigeria is a mini America in a sense of you can be who you want to be. You just need to have connections, you need to have patience, and you need to put yourself in the right place. We're very lazy here, and I would say this: we are. You want something, but you're not willing to go to those functions. You're not willing to go and sit out and wait for that your boss, and no matter how long it takes, just be around. A lot of Nigerians don't want to be the boy first. They want to be the oga. They don't want to be boy, they want to be the oga by force, by fire. And that's why I say we don't have patience. Everything is a stepping stone. So yeah, that's what I would advise. I always say, however you can broaden your horizon, make your life better. But Nigeria is such a beautiful place. It has been hard for me, and it is still hard for me. I still struggle, me being a British citizen or not being a British citizen, I still struggle. But Nigeria has its ways of keeping you locked down. It does. And I put myself always in the right position. I know where I want to go to, know where I want to head. Mm-hmm.
With a voice and mind like yours, you clearly inspire people online. But for your locals, here, would you do radio or stuff like that?
I'm laughing. Would I do radio? I would definitely do radio. I definitely would do radio. I'm just looking around. Are you guys hiring? Because me, I want to be joining you people. Yes, I would do radio. I think I would be amazing on radio. I think I would definitely get a lot of tongues wagging on radio. Do you guys want me to be on radio?
Is that your way of saying people should be on the lookout? That there could be something coming?
There should be something coming, because, hey, be on the lookout. Hey, you might be on radio. See, I this time, I said that you should always check reality and faith. But this one, single-handedly, I walk by faith. I'm walking by faith. So you don't know, there could be a divine intervention because I'm here today. So there could be a divine intervention. I could be on radio. I think I'd kill it on radio. I definitely would kill it on radio. And do you know what I love? I love the fact that when I talk, people listen. And I think that's my gift. When I was a small baby, they told my mother, I think I was like a few days old, that I'm going to have, my gift is my voice. And I know how to sing, right? I'm a musician. But I always thought growing up that the prophecy was my singing voice. And the older I've gotten, I've realized is my voice, my talking voice, what I have to say, the message behind my voice. So, yeah.
It's been a pleasure talking to you and hearing your voice up close.
Thank you.
Well done for all you do.
Thank you.
And all the best. Feels like there are really great years ahead. You've come a long way, but it almost feels like just only about beginning. And cheers to life, to the next several years of successes.
Thank God. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Wanyoma.
Dalo. Dalo.